Many years ago, I was lucky enough to get to know and spend time with Leonard Bernstein. And one of the things that impressed me about him was his fun-loving nature. He loved to play the piano, and he was like this mad scientist at the keyboard because he would play anything, and it was stream of consciousness where he'd go from one song to another, and if he couldn't remember the bridge of one song, he'd play the bridge of another, then go back to the other. And it impressed me in a way that I've never forgotten, in that it was his full embrace of the world of music that made him unique in what he did. And so it seemed necessary to all of us with the Pasadena Orchestra to create something that would reflect that nature. So the concert is not exclusively Bernstein. It also is music that influenced him and music written by his contemporaries and people he influenced. And so he was contemporary with Morton Gould, who was an extremely important composer and remains so, and was another person who also did pop song orchestrations at the same time. Aaron Copland was, of course, one of Bernstein's close friends. And then in the period when Bernstein was becoming who he was musically, if you look at the music of the 20s and 30s, there are all these little miniature concert works that were created, like Park Avenue Fantasy, little orchestra miniatures that have jazz and have pop and have all these elements that went into what Bernstein created later. And so those will be a part of the concert. And also a few pieces of music about New York, because Bernstein was, like George Gershwin, affected by the melting pot that is New York City. And one cannot underestimate the influence that that had on his music. So all of those things are important parts of what made Bernstein Bernstein, and what has given us the latitude to do a concert that will reflect who he is, but will be very wide-ranging in how it's presented.